YouTube, how's it going? The Goat House is back with another 7-round NFL mock draft. This one's for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and we're doing this for every single team, but we're going in draft order, so eventually we'll get through all the teams. Also, recently had an updated regular mock draft. That's on the channel, 2 rounds, and there's a link in the description to see my 3rd round for that on our Twitter, so check that out. Got to get through the rest of these teams. We got plenty other regular NFL draft content as well, free agency content, and we made a group for the March Madness tournament. You make your bracket in the Goat House group. There's a link in the description for that. We're going to do a video on that as well. So lots going on here at the Goat House. Check out our Twitter, Instagram, and Patreon links in the description for all of those. We have a fan-voted mock draft going on our Twitter as well. So go there, check it out. It's pinned on our Twitter. Let's get into this Jags mock draft. Let's do it. First pick. A lot of different options here. I wanted to give something different than my recent regular mock draft. Maybe a fan favorite from what I understand here is DK Metcalf to the Jags. Very realistic. I think it'd be a good pick. Let's start there. Let's start with that. They have a bunch of receivers that can play. You know, they have a bunch of receivers. They have some good depth is what I'm saying. They don't have a number 1 guy. That's really their problem. They don't have a guy that can stretch the field. Nick Foles would love a guy like DK Metcalf. Could be his Alshon Jeffrey, I guess. But we'll start with that and then see the scenario the rest of the way if they start with a guy like DK Metcalf, which is very realistic. Round 2, I would go with Deonte Thompson, and I think they will like him very much. You know, there's a couple teams that will like him in this situation. I think pairing him with former Bama safety Ronnie Harrison makes a lot of sense, and they'll like him at the free safety position. So that's a team that will keep an eye on up for a guy like Deonte Thompson. I think they'll be high on him because I think it's a fit. So possibility early in round 2 there. And then in round 3, I got them going Titus Howard, Alabama State offensive tackle, which I think could be a 2nd-round pick. You know, this is kind of best-case scenario here. He could slide early in the 3rd. They can grab him. And, I think he potentially could start right away, but they don't really necessarily need somebody to start right away at tackle. He's got to stay healthy. But I think if he has to, I think he can play right away. True tackle, very impressive at the Senior Bowl. I like him a lot. That'd be a very solid pick in round 3. Another round 3 pick. I got him taking Myles Sanders, running back from Penn State. I think they'll like him. I think this is a Jaguars type guy, type running back. I think they'll like him. Possibility of him taking over maybe. I like Fournette if he's healthy. He's very good if he's healthy. But Sanders, he's got the strength like Fournette. Maybe, not as big, but he has some moves too. He can make people miss. Very impressive running back, rising up everyone's board. I think he goes in round 3. I think the Jaguars will like him. Round 4, Alizee Mack from Notre Dame. Big tight end. He can block. He's very good in the red zone. Pretty athletic for his size. Not enough people are talking about him. I think he potentially can go round 3. Round 4 is probably his range. This scenario, the Jags wait on the tight end. They need a big-time tight end, so they could go early. They can go with the 1st round there. They can go T.J. Hawkinson. So this is kind of if they wait a little bit, but Alizee Mack would be very solid in their offense, and they'll like him a lot. He'll be good with Nick Foles. Nick Foles, it is good to get a solid tight end there for Nick Foles. So I think he's probably the latest they wait, but I would really like Mack in that offense. See if they do it. Next pick is Terry Beckner Jr. from Missouri, defensive tackle. They don't really need a starter in this category. They just need some depth. They got Marcel Darius and Taven Bryan, who they drafted in the 1st round last year for a reason. It didn't really look like that great of a pick this year because he didn't play that much, but now you see why they drafted him. So very smart. He's a very solid D tackle, got a bright future. They need some depth, though. Terry Beckner Jr. got some upside there from Missouri. So they take him in the 6th. Next pick, last pick. 7th round, they take Xavier Crawford from Central Michigan. Guy with a lot of upside. He played at Oregon State, transferred over to Central Michigan, and very athletic. He's got some pretty good length, too. About 6'1", and, he can run in the 4.3s in his 40s. Very athletic. I think the corner opposite him at Central Michigan, Sean Bunting, was a little better. But Crawford's got some upside with the right team. The Jags, this is a guy that I can see the Jags wanting to work with. So there you have it. Bunch of different ways you can do this. Try to keep it a little different from my regular mock draft. I had them going with the tight end route early on, but again, we have 3 rounds in that. 2 rounds are in the video. There's a link in the comments for the 3rd round. It brings you to our Twitter. So you get to see some different scenarios there. But I went with this route for the 7-round mock. Again, we're going to try to get through every team. We're going to try to get through them, you know, in a decent time here because we got plenty other NFL draft videos to get to, regular mock drafts. Kind of waiting on my position rankings till I'm pretty firm on them. I think I've been doing a little too early the last few years because, you know, there's all this constant changes, you know, until it's pretty much set there. So I'm kind of going to wait until I'm set with them. We'll get to that. A lot going on here at the Goat House, but that's going to do it for this one. Subscriber goals at 20K. Please help us get there. If you haven't clicked that subscribe button, click the like button, notification button. Both of those would be much appreciated as well. That's going to do it, though. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Goodbye.